There have been many transfers from Scottish clubs to United over the decades. They're not uncommon, and we've especially benefited from deals done with Celtic, including the likes of Jimmy Delaney, Paddy Crerand and Brian McClare. This video is about a United legend who fits nicely into their mantle of being a great servant to the club and driving the side forward in the face of adversity. Lou Macari saw the worst of times and the best of times at United, and his passion for the club, commitment and creativity on the pitch won him the admiration of the Stretford end. So let's take a trip back to follow in the footsteps of Lou Macari. Luigi Macari was born in Edinburgh, Scotland on the 7th of June 1949, an only child in a religious Catholic family. Also, for the record, Lou's confirmed that his parents weren't in fact Italian despite the name, and that Luigi was just a Christian name passed down through the number of generations. Even at a professional level, he never surpassed 5 foot 5 inches, but that didn't stop him from progressing quickly into the game. In 1966, at 17 years old, Lou Macari was invited to become an apprentice at Celtic Park for the next 2 years. He spent most of it in Celtic's reserves in what was called affectionately at the time the Quality Street Gang. Alongside Lou were future hoop stars and Scottish internationals David Hay, Kenny Dalglish and Danny McGrain amongst others. Lou made his debut for the European champions on the 27th of September 1967, leading the line up front as an 18-year-old. However, he broke into the first team on a regular basis in the 1969-70 season and helped the boys to the European Cup final that campaign, and also the Scottish Cup final. The following season, now more established, he started the 71 Scottish Cup final replay and would score in the final against the old enemy Rangers as Celtic ran out 2-1 winners. He also scored a double the following year too in the Cup final, in a 6-1 victory over Hibs. Lou claimed 4 Scottish League titles in 4 consecutive seasons, including 2 doubles. After 7 years or so at his boyhood club, Lou pushed for a move down south, and his manager Jock Stein allowed him to go to Anfield to speak to Bill Shankly. It didn't take Lou long to essentially agree to sign for Liverpool, and he sat in the director's box that evening to watch his new side take on Burnley in a cup replay. Of all people to sit in the empty seat next to him was someone he knew very well, United legend Paddy Crerand, who asked him what he was doing there. Paddy immediately told him not to sign for Liverpool, and United would take him instead. The lure of being with best Law and Charlton was too much of an opportunity to miss. The next morning, leaving his Liverpool hotel, he got a train to Glasgow to meet United manager Tommy Docherty. The 24-year-old Macari joined United from Celtic for £200,000. Lou made his debut for the Red Devils at Old Trafford on the 20th of January 1973 against West Ham United, along with fellow debutant countryman Big Jim Holton. What's more, in that game, Lou has the distinction of collecting a debut goal, scoring an 80th minute equaliser in front of the home support to claim a point in a 2-2 draw. However, what's of even greater merit is that his debut goal qualified him for my tier ranking video of United debut goal scorers. It was clear to his new boss, as the Red Devils toiled and toyed with relegation, that Lou was best suited to a deeper role, using his creativity to make goals rather than just score them, as he'd done so well north of the border. Lou Macari, despite his diminutive stature, comprised many facets that set him apart during his 11 years in United colours. A keen opportunist to either scavenge a goal or make one for a teammate, the Scot was sharp, fast and had a good engine. Whilst up front he was a very direct attacker, good in the air for his size and a consummate finisher, calm in front of goal. Lou had neat and tidy feet, but after the lessons he'd learned at Celtic, he wasn't afraid to put himself about a bit when necessary. Even in the deeper role he played under Tommy Docherty, he used his experience of leading the line in his former position to his greatest advantage, turning provider. The Edinburgh lad was all guts and passion, a model pro, yet a joker too. This is why he was respected by his teammates and the Stretford end alike. Despite the fact Lou always gave his all once he pulled on our jersey, there was little he could do to help stem the decline in United's fortunes during his first 18 months in Manchester. 3 of the reasons why he moved to Old Trafford, Best, Law and Charlton, had either moved on or retired in that time, and things were only going to get worse. His first full campaign in the 1973-74 edition, United couldn't buy a win, and ended up being relegated for the first time in more than 40 years. Lou, like many of our players with character in those days, stayed to help turn things around and was an integral part of the rejuvenation of a young United side that tore the second division apart as we secured the league title and promotion. A lot of United's success after their 74 relegation can be given to Lou. He moved deeper for Pancho to score the goals and complemented our dynamic wingers Willie Morgan and Steve Coppell. Bouncing back from adversity, United's first season in the top flight in 1975-76 was a revelation. This is when Lou seemed to reach his peak at United, when he almost helped the boys deliver a League and Cup double. The way our young side was playing exciting attacking football, we were hot favourites to win the 76 Cup final, and Lou here must have had many sleepless nights afterwards how he didn't turn that in. Regardless, it seemed like the lads turned up as if the match against Southampton was already won, but a still heavily questionable Bobby Stokes goal late on did for us, and we ended up a brilliant season empty-handed. Macari was that good in the campaign that he ended up the club's top scorer, and he wasn't even that far away from claiming the Footballer of the Year accolade. The Docks Manchester United had reached their peak in 75-76, but they were still destined for glory the following season. It wouldn't be league success, we ended up down in 6th by the end of the campaign, but it was the FA Cup again where we excelled. Lou had helped get the boys through with winning goals against QPR and Aston Villa in earlier ties. However, it'd be Lou's deflected shot in the final which would turn out to be the winner after his effort cannoned in off Jimmy Greenough. Due to the striker's important contribution to Celtic's perennial success, he got called up to the under-21 squad, earning 2 caps in early 1972. By the May, he'd made his full debut for his country against Wales. Macari made 24 appearances in Scotland colours between 1972 and 78, scoring goals against Chile, Denmark and Yugoslavia, before making Ali McLeod's Argentina 78 World Cup final squad. He took part in 2 matches, coming on as a sub in the 3-1 defeat to Peru, and started the 1-1 draw with Iran. That match would be the last one for his country. After manager Tommy Docherty's off-field indiscretions, new manager Dave Sexton arrived, and despite some favourites leaving the club like Gordon Hill and Stuart Pearson, Macari continued to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Lou played in his 3rd United FA Cup final in 1979, but the Red Devils famously lost against Arsenal after a late comeback tied up the game at 2-2. In 1981, the more serious Sexton was replaced with the more flamboyant Ron Atkinson, but Lou, now on the wrong side of 30, with injuries catching up with him and the arrival of a new crop of players, he took part in far fewer games than his first 9 seasons at the club. Nevertheless, he came on as a sub in the 1983 League Cup final defeat to Liverpool, but he didn't make the FA Cup final lineup the same year. He did though memorably come on in the quarter-final victory over Everton and almost immediately set up Frank Stapleton for the winner. Lou did claim another Charity Shield winners medal, once again versus the old enemy Liverpool in a 2-0 win in August 83, but that would be his last big game for the club. Lou received a well-earned testimonial match against his beloved Celtic in 1984 and turned out for the hoops in the second half. In all, this attacking midfielder scored 97 goals, which sees him as the Red Devils' 24th highest scorer of all time in all competitions, and with his 404 matches, the 27th highest appearance maker. Coming up to his 35th birthday, the Scot left United in 1984 and soon snagged himself a player-manager role at Swindon Town. Swindon struggled in the 84-85 season. The following season, we saw promotion as champions with a record tally of 102 points. A second consecutive promotion followed, taking Swindon into the second division. Lou's success saw him take up a managerial post at West Ham. He lasted till February 1990 and after a year out, became the new boss at Birmingham City. After guiding the Blues to a Football League trophy win, he fell out with the chairman over a bonus payment for winning that Wembley gong. Lou then joined Stoke in the summer of 91 and continued his winning ways, securing another Football League trophy in 1992. The following season, Lou took Stoke to the 3rd tier 2nd Division Championship. Despite his successful period at the Victoria Ground, Lou decided to go back to his first love when they came calling, and he joined Celtic following in mentor Jock Stein's footsteps in October 1993. However, things didn't work out and poor results along with new ownership saw him dismissed by March the following year. He returned to Stoke in September 94 but couldn't rekindle the magic of his first spell, and after a couple of years at Huddersfield Town, decided not to venture back into football management and instead focused his energies elsewhere. Whilst managing at Stoke City in the early 90s, Lou involved himself in the purported growing problem of homelessness in the city. Lou's homelessness crusade never veered from his direct participation in alleviating the problem. Lou set up a charity, the Macari Centre, and at his own expense rented and created from a warehouse an innovative idea of installing housing pods. This project is now well over 30 years in the making, but sadly seems to be one without an end in sight. I've put a link in the description if you want to find out more or donate. So that was United legend Lou Macari, who graced Old Trafford for 11 years, stuck by the club in its darkest times, and helped rebuild the foundations of United to win an FA Cup, 2 Charity Shields and playing 3 other finals under 3 different Red Devils bosses. What did you make of this important 1970s linchpin? Have your say in the comments and please like, share and especially subscribe. Thank you as always for your support.